Hi, my name is Bill Bradley. I'm an extreme endurance athlete, and this is my motivational video. The topic of today's video is do something you're afraid of. I was recently in my club, and a friend of mine walked in, and his name is Dan Walters, and he's had a bad run of luck, I guess, or injuries over the last 5 years. He had a pretty serious bike wreck about 5 years ago, and it seems like every time he starts to get in shape, from what he's telling me, then he gets some sort of other injury. Anyway, I noticed when I saw him walk in the club, he had a little more giddy up in his step. He looked a little more alive, like he's feeling good about himself. And so I asked Dan, I said, "What's up?" And he said, "Well, you know what? I went out, you know how I've done the Terrible 2, which is in this is in our area up here in Sonoma County. And it's like one of the toughest 200-mile bike rides in the country, I've done it twice. Once I finished it, once I got my butt kicked. I mean, it can be really hot on the course, and it's extremely hilly. I mean, like steep climbs, like really steep, like the steepest I've ever done. And so, like I said, he's done this a couple times in the past, but then he went through this 5-year, I'm going to call it, some sort of like a rut, he just couldn't get it going on. And so he said that he got some advice recently where somebody told him, do something you're afraid of. It sounds like a rut buster idea. Rut buster idea. I liked it. He asked me what I thought of it. I said, I like it. I like it. So what he did after he heard that idea was he signed up, that Terrible 2. He knew he wasn't in shape to do the whole thing, but he thought he could muster up enough strength. He'd been doing just enough training that he thought maybe he could do the second half of it. So they do have a race where you sign up for, I guess, the last 110 miles. Back when I did it, you only had to do the whole thing or nothing. But now they have an option where you can sign up for the second half of it, which is the hardest half. It's up over Skaggs Springs, and there's some really tough climbs, like I said, and it can be really hot. And so anyway, but he signed up for the second half of this, even though he was not in the fitness to do this. But it was like he just wanted to do something he's afraid of. And I think to snap himself out of this rut and show him that he could still do it. And so he went out there and he did these climbs, probably not as fast as he's done them in the past, but he grinded up these climbs, and he ended up riding like 85 miles. He said his tire shredded at 85 miles and he couldn't continue. It wasn't just his tire was like wiped out. So, but he made it 85 miles. 9 hours of riding though. I'm talking 9 hours, going up and down these hills. And I know by the time he got telling me about this, I was all pumped up because I'm thinking like I've been swimming pretty much for 2 years straight now, or pretty close to it. And, I'm thinking like myself, man, that's what I need to do. Get on my bike and go ride the second half of the Terrible 2, man. Just get the momentum going that way again. So anyway, if you're in that same situation, you're in some sort of a rut, you've been injured a lot, and you got to get your confidence back, then do what my buddy Dan did. Get out there and do something you're afraid of. Take on some workout that maybe you've done in your prime and do part of it or something, when you're really fit, and just bring it and give it everything you got. Like I said, he didn't quite finish because his tire shredded, but he did the hardest part. He did the 85 miles, which is the hardest part. He was out there 9 hours. Let me tell you, he had a little giddy up in his step, man. So if you've had problems with, just being in some sort of a rut also, do something you're afraid of. It's a rut buster. You look like my buddy Dan. He looked pretty dang happy. All right. Anyway, if you're interested, you can follow me on Facebook or Twitter. Also, if you have a comment or a question, put it in the YouTube comment section. And if you're interested in me talking to your team, your group, your company, your organization, please email me at epicbillbradley@gmail.com and we will get you out some information. Thank you very much.